Oh, here we go. We're back again. What? This has got to be what, like our seventh or eighth episode in a row. We are absolutely killing it.
Yeah, I don't know. Something about like some crazy consistency. I don't know.
Yeah, we're kind of the most important podcast in the world.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome everybody to episode 28 of the season. I think that's where we're at.
It is
Time just
episode,
flies.
28.
Time just flies. I don't remember any of these things anymore, but here we are. It's MLS award season, guys. We're up here. We're right through the middle of the playoffs. Well, to me, MLS is over. I don't know why we really even talk about it anymore.
I mean, to us, MLS is over.
Well, there's just no point, right? It's all useless. We're in the middle of playoffs. We are on to the conference finals. New England and
NYC.
NYC. So it's a conference semis.
Yep.
And then Nashville and Philly. Portland won on Thanksgiving against Colorado, so they're in the finals, awaiting the winner of SKC and Real Salt Lake, who pulled off the most FIFA win
God, I hate
we'll
it.
ever
I
see.
hate it so much. I hate it.
So frustrating to look. I woke up to that score line and I almost cried.
Yeah.
Zero shots on goal, 32% possession.
Yeah.
Winning penalties and move on.
Yeah, that's the exact reason why people complain about watching soccer.
Oh, 100%.
That game
they put on a masterclass. Bro, then DeVito Choa goes off and is an absolute snake. They had 3 shots on goal, but they're all right to me, so I don't even count it. The game's over. Why are you stirring the pot, my guy?
Were we like accidentally streaming that game? Is that why it was such a
dud? Somebody must have hit stream on an empty room. But today it is awards time. So we're going to go through the MLS awards that are given out at the end of the year. Some of them are given out already. Comeback Player of the Year for Carlos Hill, Goalkeeper of the Year for Matt Turner, and Newcomer of the Year, Arango. We're going to go through and let you know what we think about those, as well as give our predictions for the rest of them. And then our good friends over at Extratime went and made their own really cool list of awards that they would give out, I guess, if they could pick more awards. So American Player of the Year, that stretches all through the United States men's national team. Concacaf Player of the Year throughout the entire region of Concacaf. Outside Back of the Year, Chris Armas D-mid of the Year, love that. That is the pick that made us do this list, because we love a good bit of Chris Armas, right? Super Draft Player of the Year, Teenager of the Year, Super Sub of the Year, Most Improved Player, Personality of the Year, and Most Exciting Player to watch just on a random given Tuesday. So that's what we're going to go through. And then we're also going to react to our predictions for some of these real life awards, as well as some of our bold predictions that are still in the balance or finished up. And according to our friend Connor, they're not that great.
Oh, it's going to be, we also have our, we picked our preseason top 5 for each position. I'll kind of run through some of the real embarrassing picks.
Yeah, that'd be a good one too. But before we do all that, we got to go to Scarf of the Week. This is the last week until we get all of our new ones, right?
How many did you order? So.
How many did you order?
I think I got 6. Wait, actually, I have a spreadsheet because I'm trying to track. I want to make sure I get one for each team.
Nice. I also got 6. While you're you got 6.
Yeah.
Do you want to give away who you got?
So I picked up FCC because they had a nice $2 scarf that we both picked up.
Yeah.
I picked up Columbus, some new expansion team, the Lost or something. Nashville, Orlando, and Toronto.
So we might be sharing a few of those. I'm trying to see where
I want to say, I think you sent me a picture, and I want to say the only one we were sharing, I think, was FCC. But let me see if I can find your picture again.
I don't know if I sent you the proper picture. Here we go. MLS order is on the way. So I got one for Inter Miami.
Mm-hmm.
I got Real Salt Lake as well. I got an NYC one that's going to be Matthew's Christmas present. I got a Vancouver Whitecaps scarf, and then the FCC, and then a Toronto scarf as well. Did you get the $4 one?
For which one? For who?
Toronto.
No,
Okay, good. So
I got like an $8 one.
nice. And then what about the RSL one? Was that also 4?
I bought an RSL one last year, so I didn't buy one this year.
Gotcha. Okay. So that should be it then. I basically went anything under $5, I'm gonna pick up.
Here's what I'll say really quick. This is the second year now that I've done MLS scarf shopping on Black Friday. And it's always the same teams that have these like bottom of the barrel, like $5 scarves. It's Houston, Montreal, Vancouver, Toronto. It's the same teams year after year that have like these really cheap scarves. And I don't know if that's supposed to say something, but
Listen, Red Bull aren't down there.
no.
The system works.
Red Bull have no cheap scarves, which sucks.
The system works. That's all I can say. But who you rocking? Who you rocking?
Right now, I have brought out let's go this way. Also, you're frozen on my screen. I don't know if I'm frozen.
It froze on the. Now it's back. It
Yeah.
froze on the funniest picture. What'd you do?
What did I do?
You got the red bars on your connection, bro.
Oh, I saw the red bars on your connection.
Anyways, we have gotten it's disgustingly off topic.
That's
Who
all right.
you-
We'll cut it out.
What do you have?
I've got Chicago today.
It's the playoffs. Why are you taking one of the worst teams in the league?
I'm picking Chicago. Well, we're talking about award season. I'm picking a team that's going to get no awards. It's this
You're
or it's
giving an
NYC.
award to a player from Chicago?
I said they're not getting any awards.
Oh, I was about to say, whoa. I brought out the Nashville scarf, being that they're one of like
That's
two
such a
teams
nice
that
scarf.
I love this scarf. The quality is great, and it's just it screams Nashville, right? It's just a hodgepodge of really cool stuff on the design.
That's how I describe their roster.
Yes,
A
exactly.
hodgepodge
And
of
it
really
works.
cool stuff.
And it works. They're one of all the MLS scarves I got. They are one of the, I think, 2 teams. I mean, I don't have Portland. Portland's still in it, but that's about it. So you want to
you want me to? I've got an NYCFC scarf right here. You want me to put it on?
Don't you dare.
Well, then it's Chicago because that's all I got. Chicago and NYCFC right now.
You want to start with the real life awards or the extra time awards?
Let's go through the real life ones. I think that'll yeah, I'm thinking that one will be less chaotic. Let's save the chaos for the end.
Sure. Okay. So we'll start with comeback player of the year. Of course, Carlos Hill won this in 2021. Disclaimer here, I kept him in that spot. I think it is. So we had this conversation before. There's most improved and there's a comeback. So the difference was most improved is somebody who was just really bad last year, really good this year. Comeback player was somebody who was hurt. Carlos Hill spent most of the year in 2020 hurt. New England paid for it. He comes back and he led them to a supporter shield and is in the MVP race. That's a pretty easy one for me.
Yeah, I definitely think this was the right call. Especially, I don't remember if we were talking. I think we talked about this off air when you were talking about how they defined comeback player of the year. And I think for the purposes of someone coming back from injury versus someone coming back from bad form, I think we talked about this one being more so for injury, this award, because I think we have another award later on that we'll talk about that I think we're going to use more so for coming back from bad form. So coming back from injury, I definitely think this has to be Heel.
Yep, no disagreements there. Nice and easy.
Yep.
We want a goalkeeper. And now we're going to start yelling because Matt Turner, I pulled up some stats. So this isn't me being a hater. Matt Turner is the most undeserving goalkeeper of the year since, I don't know who the last goalkeepers of the year were, but he was like mid-pack in every stat in the league this year outside of wins.
Surprising. Honestly, I wouldn't have expected that. I feel like
I'll pull the stats up, but go ahead. Who do you put for goalkeeper of the year?
I put Turner, and I think it might honestly be some bias to the fact that he's played super well for the men's national team.
Exactly what I had written down.
And his team won the supporter shield. and they were like far and away like points record, best team, starts every game in goal for them.
I get it. But I literally have in there. Matt Turner won this because of the national team, but he
That's
wasn't
fair.
great. So let me talk about this, right? So goals against per 90. So he missed time obviously for the national team, right? So there's a stat here, goals against per 90. There are 30 goalkeepers on this list. Can you guess who the bottom of the bottom is?
30. I'm assuming there's like a limit on like on how many games you need to be on the list.
I guess, but it's pretty easy to figure out who's at the bottom of the list.
I mean, I don't think Daniel Vega played at all. So
No, it's Primislav Titon because
not
for
Tito.
the third year out, so they came in 2018, 2019, 2020 doesn't count, 2021. 74, 75, 74 goals against. FCC are an absolute
They
nightmare.
suck.
It's so bad. I hate it. I looked it up. Just anyways, that's off topic. Goals against per 90. Matt Turner, 12th best in the league with 1.25 goals against per 90 minutes. Save percentage, 8th with 74.2. Clean sheet percentage. So percent of games that you had a clean sheet. 20th, 17.9% of games. And those were the three that I went off because that's kind of the most in-depth we got. But if you're going to tell me that your best in the three important categories that I take as a goalkeeper, that your best finish is 8th in the league, and then you have one that's down in 20th, and then in middle of that, you're not goalkeeper of the year. You're not even close. This one might come with a little bit of bias. Carlos Coronel is goalkeeper of the year. Red Bull do not make the playoffs if anybody else is in goal. It's not a contest. Third highest shutout percentage, played every minute of every game. So you can't say like, oh, he started 10 games and had a shutout in 8 of them. So he got 8%. He played every single game, third highest shutout percentage. Had the same save percentage as goalkeeper of the year Turner. He was third in least goals against per 90 minutes. The dude kept the ball out of the net. The only other goalkeeper that I will allow in this conversation is Joe Willis, because he's right in that same range as he is. And maybe Jonathan Bond, because I love myself a little bit of Jonathan Bond in goal. But Matt Turner is not the goalkeeper of the year. Not even close. And this is not me saying I don't like him as a goalkeeper. That man is my national team goalkeeper. Put him in there all day long. No question. But in terms of MLS play, Carlos Coronel is better than Matt Turner this year. But because he won Supporters Shield, he gets an award. I get it. It's the same thing that why Andre Blake won it last year. Andre Blake wasn't great last year. Team won Supporters Shield. Here's an award. Go have fun.
Andre Blake was definitely very good last year.
No, he was good, but Matt Turner was better in terms of numbers. I looked that up.
Yes, I agree.
Matt Turner was better last year than Andre Blake. Andre Blake was better this year than Turner, and it just flip flopped.
So yeah, so this is like this is the
no, you don't get like, sorry we missed it. Here's a free award. It doesn't work that way.
Sure,
Carlos
it does.
Coronel,
Why not?
Carlos Coronel, or the fact that Coronel wasn't even in the final three is criminal. What did Andre Blake do this year?
Andre Blake had a very good year this year.
Oh, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
I mean, yes, he did, but like, no, he didn't.
I honestly, if I'm just looking at this from a stats perspective, I'd pick Blake as my goalkeeper of the year.
Sure. But I'm not.
So one of the stats that I found, and it's totally a subjective stat. I know we've talked about it before. It's one of my favorite for goalkeepers, but I totally understand that it's subjective.
Is it like your saves above expected number?
Yeah. It's essentially like how many, and again, it's judgment based because XG is totally a judgment stat. I mean, I know there's obviously math behind it, but the stat is essentially like how many goals did your goalkeeper save extra on top of like an average goalkeeper? So Turner was third in that one. And again, the rest of the stats that you read off, that's the only stat that I think Turner is like high up in, so I get it.
Yeah.
Statistically, he probably was not the best goalkeeper. Just to give you some reference, the top goalkeeper for that stat was Maxime Crepeau.
I believe that.
Yeah, I bet. And then Blake was number 2 in that one. But I'm not going to get too much into it. I get the politics as to why he won. I'm not like angry about it. I'm not, you know, I like Matt Turner, so I'm not gonna like be upset about him winning goalkeeper of the year, especially when he should have won it last year.
If you're gonna give anybody a shout, I'd say Joe Willis probably gets it again, or has been snubbed again.
Oh, Joe Willis just gets the short end of the stick every single time. Last year he was Golden Gloves. This year he was, I think, almost Golden Gloves again, or was he joint Golden Gloves?
He was up there in clean sheets. It was him, Coronel, and Yarborough.
And
But Yarborough
doesn't
get to, Yarborough doesn't get to be a part of that. I don't
Joe
really.
Willis went back-to-back Golden Glove seasons and is not even in the conversation for goalkeeper of the year for either of the years.
Is Joe Willis one of the most underrated players in the league? Is this a whole episode in and of itself? Probably.
I don't know. I mean, he might. I think he's definitely a good goalkeeper, but I do think he benefits from having a really solid defensive team in front of him.
For sure. But he, like I said, he makes his saves. I mean, he had 96 saves this year. He was
good.
He was 7th. He had the same amount of saves as Matt Turner, but Matt Turner did it in 6 less games. So there you go.
Yeah.
Right.
We went on a huge tangent for one award. This is going to be 2 hours long if we keep doing this.
If MLS didn't make bad decisions on their picks, and we wouldn't have to be on a tangent. But here,
of course, they're going to make bad decisions on their picks. It's MLS.
Defender of the year. I put Yeimar Gomez Andrade. Seattle with an absolutely awful backline injury crisis and rotation and the whole shebang of what they had to go through this year. He was in the middle of that group, and he conceded the joint least amount of goals in the entire league, 33, even with Nashville and Red Bull. So when you are the Rock in the middle of the joint best defense in the league, you win big boy awards. Good job.
Yeah, no disagreements from me here. Yeimar is my pick also.
Yep. I mean, that's not hard. I mean, I think Sean Nealis is a close second, but we'll get there eventually. Newcomer of the year. We got.
I definitely think Araujo deserved that. And I think he came in a bit late compared to some of the other newcomers, but he tore it up when he came in here, especially when I think Vela probably wasn't playing much, I want to say, for at least a time when he was on the team. And I know the team itself didn't do great, but there's only so much he could do to help. But he was on fire when he came in. I totally feel like he deserves that award, at least in my opinion.
I agree, but again, I think a few writers made a really good point because I was doing some research on this. You can't be a newcomer of the year if your play doesn't get your team into the playoffs. So I went with Ryan Gauld because if you can join a team and turn a strike force of Brian White and only Brian White into a dangerous attacking front three that is vying for a playoff spot and then goes on like a 16-game unbeaten run just to make it into the playoffs, you're pretty good. I think Vancouver are going to be a very dangerous team in the next couple of years with Gauld playing that 10 spot. So I picked him. I agree. I think Arango was probably better than Gauld for the time that he was here. But I think when Gauld came in, he made his team better instead of made himself look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but there's only so much Aranjo can do. I mean, he can't track back and play center back for them.
He definitely can. I bet you Ryan Gauld did.
You know what? He probably could, and he'd probably do a better job.
Exactly. Young player of the year. Who you got? Should be
all right. Here, nope, not easy.
Don't you dare do anything other than be. Oh, I hate you so much.
I think Tajon Buchanan should have won this award.
I actually don't completely disagree.
I think I listen, I'm all on board for the Pepe hype, but I think in terms of the league, I think he's getting more hype than is. I don't even want to say more hype than is warranted because he scored 13, I think, goals as an 18-year-old. That's crazy good.
Right.
But like, if you put the 13 goals into perspective, which is like the rest of the league, and just like chop out the age part of it, I just think Tajon had a stronger season. Not to mention his team was supporter shield winning, record points, and he was a huge part of that. While Pepe's team was like rock bottom of the West. So I think Tajon should have got it. And I looked at the voting, and Tajon was winning it by far. And then the media vote came in, and it just Pepe blew it out of the water with the media vote, which tells me right there it's literally he won it off of hype.
I don't disagree, but here's why I'm going to stick with Pepe. He's 4 years younger.
I get it.
It's the young player of the year. It's not the who's a good youngish type of player.
I just see it as
Pepe did what he did at a younger age when Tajon Buchanan was still playing college soccer.
I just think that for the sake of the award, you cut off the age at one point, and then if you qualify at that point, age doesn't matter. It's just performance.
A fair conversation. I think they're even, but I'll take the younger player for Young Player of the Year.
All right. Listen, as long as we're not picking snakes.
Facts. Coach of the Year. This shouldn't be a conversation. Bruce Arena took a bunch of college kids, draft picks, and Tommy McNamara and won a supporters shield. There's no conversation here.
I honestly can't believe people are trying to make a case for Robin Fraser to win.
That Colorado team might have been the worst number one seed in the last 5 years in the West. Like not even a conversation. Like I watched them play that day. It was awful.
Yeah. I mean, they strictly only won it because Seattle and SKC had guys injured for the year.
Yeah. Like I'm not saying Colorado was bad, but it wasn't because of Ryan Fraser making them good.
Yeah, this is Bruce Arena, like you said, took Tommy McNamara and Matt Polster and won and set the points record in the league. Like, this is not a conversation.
It's not. It's not even close. It's not even they are not even in the same breath.
Yeah.
And they were missing a bunch of guys too. Like I said, they played a lot of games without Matt Turner, who was apparently the goalkeeper of the year. Whoa. But he didn't even miss a beat. Yeah, Bruce Arena.
Yeah.
Now this is going to be the interesting one. MVP.
It is an interesting
You've listed 5 finalists here.
Yes, these are the 5 finalists that they have.
I will say that 3 of them are really in conversation. One of them is and the other one is how did you get here? Go ahead.
See, this is a question of I think they'll go one way, but I want it to go a different way. I would love nothing more than to see Hani Mukhtar win this MVP. But every brain cell in my body says, I know this league and Carlos Heel is winning MVP because they set the points record and were supporter shield. If I had it my way, I would pick Hani Mukhtar because I think Hani had a more consistent performance throughout the year, whereas I think Heel was insanely on fire at the start of the year and then kind of mellowed out towards the end of the year. But I get it. He was still phenomenally good this year and was the key guy on the supporter shield points record team. So
here's what I think.
Yeah.
This award won't come out until MLS Cup is over. If Hani Mukhtar knocks out New England, he wins. But if he doesn't, then I think it goes to Heel. My pick is Hani Mukhtar. 16 goals, 10 assists, like in the regular season. Unbelievable.
Yeah. That's why I picked him too.
But I agree with you. Carlos Hill is probably at the leader, but I'm going to go with Hani Mukhtar here. My third place is is a draw between Shallowy and Castellanos because
you don't want to say Tati.
You're exactly right. Yeah, I think they were both basically the same. I don't care. Hani Mukhtar. Let's move on.
Yeah.
Do we want to go through our predictions there for that, like for some of those awards that we had?
Yeah. Yeah. Sure.
What
All
were
right.
some of our predictions?
So we did. This is an added one. This wasn't one that we went over, but it's one that I think is already. It's one that's decided already, obviously. So our predictions for top scorer, Golden Boot. Both of us put Alan Pulido.
Oh my God.
So safe to say, Alan Pulido did not win, unless he
Did he
changed his
even
name.
play this year?
Yeah, I did not hear his. I don't think I heard his name once the entire year. And maybe that's because Adam wasn't here, but
It had to have been. Alan Pulido, Sporting Kansas City, 15 stars. He had 8 goals this year.
in 15 starts. All right.
Honestly, like I said, you give him an actual run out.
Yeah, a full healthy year, he might have had a shot.
Keeping notes for next year's predictions.
Oh, I'm not picking Alan Pulido ever again.
What else is there?
All right, MVP. This one we differed. You picked Lucas Zelarayan. Not terrible.
Not awful.
I picked Alan Pulido.
Yeah. You're not allowed to make predictions anymore.
Listen. If Pulido finishes the top scorer, he probably wins MVP.
That's awful. What else you got?
All right, newcomer of the year. You picked Brenner. Mine was bad. I picked Santi Sosa.
Yes, that is bad.
Santi, I'm pretty sure got benched at some point during the year.
Yes. To be fair, Ryan Gauld was not in the league when that happened.
Oh, wait, sorry. I might have said young player. I meant to say newcomer of the year.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure if I said young player or new or
No, you said newcomer.
Okay, yeah.
Ryan Gauld wasn't in the league, nor was Arango. And Chofis was, but I don't think anybody thought San Jose was going to be anything worth talking about.
Yeah, that was unfair for us.
Yes.
All right, young player of the year. You picked Brenner. You had really high hopes on FCC, man.
Man, who look at the paper roster, man. How can you not have high hopes?
Because it's FCC.
I don't care. You had Yapstam, who was supposed to be really good, with a team that had MLS experience, that had like players that had hype, were good in MLS, had a decent back line.
No, I'm convinced you could put Pep on this team and they'd still finish rock bottom.
Bro, can you imagine Pep Guardiola in charge of FCC?
Oh, I would love it. It would be everything I could hope for.
I would just put a camera on him for 90 minutes a day.
He managed to go like a second level of bald. FCC would find a way. All right, young player of the year. You had Brenner. I picked Barco. And I said, if he's eligible, not sure how the age thing works. Which I feel like is fair. If I imagine if Barco was eligible, he was probably close to winning it. He had a pretty strong year. So that makes up a little bit for Pulido. All right. Goalkeeper of the year. Congratulations. We have our first correct prediction. Is you predicted Matt Turner as goalkeeper of the year.
I know I did. He didn't deserve it, but I'm taking that point.
I picked Eloy Room. Just did not pan out.
No, it did not.
All right. Defensive player of the year. You picked Jonathan Mensah. I picked Yamar. So okay. I'm in the running for that one right now.
Okay, not bad.
We might each get one right. And then manager of the year. Ooh, this is a good one. You picked Caleb Porter, and I picked Peter Vermees.
Okay. Which is weird because I should have predicted Bruce Arena.
I know, because you picked them to win.
I picked everything else. I don't know why. I think I picked Caleb Porter because we expected
huge things out of
Columbus to just blow everybody out of the water.
Yeah. All right. Extra time awards.
And then after extra time, we'll do bold predictions.
Yeah. I can go through some of the other predictions in here too. We have standings predictions in here also.
Oh God.
Yeah, that'd be ugly.
All right. Yeah, we'll get to that. American of the Year, our extra time award number 1.
Oh man, I can't wait for you to put Ricardo Pepi here.
I did not.
Okay.
I put Miles Robinson. I told you before we kicked off here that my criteria was basically who raised their stock the most and had the biggest impact on the men's national team as a whole. It was a joint tie between him and Matty Turner, but Miles Robinson literally won us a game against Mexico, so he wins. But yeah, he was probably one of the most influential in terms of, like I said, when Aaron Long went down, we were like, uh-oh, who is going to be playing in this group? And he stepped up. He rose to the challenge. He was very, very good. So Miles Robinson, my American of the Year. Yeehaw.
Yeehaw. I picked the same thing. I picked Miles as well.
Big ups.
And I had I have honorable mentions for each of these. So
Okay.
mine for this one, I got Matt Turner, Pepe, Weston McKennie, and Christian Pulisic.
Weston McKennie was very close for me because he's just an absolute.
He also carried us to a win against Mexico.
I'm about to say he's just a boss in big games. Like I don't know what else to say about it.
Yeah, he's clutch.
Yeah, but Miles, for the longevity of it, I'll give him that. I think McKennie was probably my number 2.
Yeah, he was up
there. CONCACAF Player of the Year. This takes in Gold Cup, Nations League, qualifying.
Yeah.
So stats and performances in that span. Go ahead.
I picked Alphonso Davies. I think Canada has had this new surgence of relevancy and success, and I think he is the driving factor behind that. So I'm picking Davies in this one.
Wrong flank. Right team, wrong flank.
You going Jonathan David?
Nope. He's a striker. Try again.
No, I thought Laren plays striker.
They both do. They play off. Tajon Buchanan.
Tajon
Buchanan. You're telling me that this kid doesn't show up? If this kid's not playing on the right wing, you think Canada has any sort of ability? Everything comes through him. Everything comes through that side. They're leading the octagonal right now because everything comes through that side. Plus, he had the highest stock raise, right? We all knew Alphonso Davies was really good. But
the award isn't who stock rose the most.
Freeze. Where were Canada last year when Alphonso Davies was really good? And Tajon Buchanan hadn't broken through yet.
Was there anything even to play for?
Nowhere. They were
What were they playing?
2 years ago. I don't care. Pick whatever year you want. They didn't do
2 years ago, he was still, I think, with Vancouver.
No.
Yeah. Was he
won the Champions League with Bayern in 2019. What do you mean?
But didn't he start that season with Vancouver?
No, he went over in 2018. Anyways. Tajon Buchanan's emergence has been the most influential part of Canada this year. That and Kyle Laren deciding to drop 9 goals against like Suriname, but whatever. Do you know that in the Nations League, sorry, there's another tangent. In the Nations League, the leading goal scorer of that tournament was some dude from Suriname with 12 goals.
Yeah, I can only
literally never heard of the dude in my life. He dropped 12 goals and nobody said a word.
That's because he was probably dropping goals against like I don't even know, like Saint Martinique or something.
It's Tajon Buchanan. We'll move on. Outside back of the year. I love these awards because outside backs don't get enough love.
Agreed.
Claudio Bravo out of Portland is my pick for outside back of the year in MLS. Most tackles, most interceptions per 90 minutes. Tied first for the most passes blocked. And he had the most crosses blocked. So defensively, he was the best outside back, and Portland are into the conference finals because of it.
I was really close to putting him. I was debating between 2 guys, but
instead you put Kyle Duncan, right?
No. I ultimately went for Kai Wagner.
Oh, why?
I think that Philly were very solid defensively this year, and I think he adds a lot going forward. I want to say he had like 7 goal contributions at least going forward.
Okay, so you went with the attacking. See, I am a defensive-minded individual, so I didn't go too much with the attacking because Let's talk about this real quick. Standing.
Philly still only conceded 35 goals the entire season. I mean,
Was
I
it
think
35? I thought it was closer to 40. Okay, I'll give you that then. Yeah, 35. So I thought it was closer to like 41, like New England was, but I will absolutely give you 35. Okay, that makes my dislike of your decision a little bit less.
Plus, how do you not like some Kai Wagner?
I mean, he knocked me out of the playoffs, so pretty easily. Chris Armas D-mid of the year. This is going to be interesting, but you go first. So.
Yeah. This is interesting. I can't. You'll be so. I think you're picking me to go first, so you can yell at me. Is that what you're doing?
Here's a spoiler. It cannot be Carlos Hill. Just want to put that out there.
All right, hold on. I gotta change it. I picked Jack Price as my D-mid of the year. He had 12 assists this season.
He's a number 8. Oh, that's so. So I'm not mad. But
listen, I went off of where they placed him online. I don't watch.
No, I know. I'm looking at it. I'm not mad, but okay. You know, I'm okay with it.
Look, they who scored has him playing 25 games. Oh no, they played him 25 games as a center mid. Okay, let me swap it then.
All right, you want me to go first?
Yeah, I think I have my replacement, but go ahead.
Yeah, 6 games as a defensive midfielder. Come on, man. Sean Davis is the easy winner of this because Chris Armas D-mid of the year didn't need to be flashy going forward. He needed to be like prime Diego Chara, Ozzy Alonso. That's what he needed to be. Sean Davis had the 2nd most passes blocked, the 7th most tackles, the 6th most interceptions per 90 minutes, 4th most headers won, and the only player with more than 20 appearances in that positional role to be top 10 in all 4 categories. He broke up the play. He gave it to somebody who can make a pass, and that's it. Nobody else was that consistent, and he played every minute of every game. Nobody else was that consistent the way that he was. Sean Davis was the best center defensive mid of the year. I will give an honorable mention to Leon Flock, but Sean Davis is better. And this comes from me. I'm pretty sure publicly stating I was not a fan of Sean Davis coming into this year. I did not think he was up for the job, but he was phenomenal this year. Again, when your team goes on an 11 game, 12 game unbeaten run, and you're in there just pick, like I said, I watched him play against FCC, and I know that's not saying a lot, but that man picked off every single pass and just started to counter the other way. It was so good. And again, really, if you look at the true defensive mids in the league, there aren't many that we can look at now and be like, oh yeah, like Diego Chara. Like Diego Chara, no. You know, what else we got? We've got Ozzy Alonso. Ozzy Alonso didn't play too much anymore, right? You know, if you cut it down to 25, you're looking at Alexander Ring, who brought Austin not into the playoffs. Junior Urso, I'll allow. Matt Polster, I'll allow. Actually, I'll allow Diego Chara too. Yeah, like I said, I just think that he fills that role better than most. That's all I'm going to say.
You make a very compelling argument. So I will take out my pick of Michael Bradley and put Sean Davis.
That's funny. Again, I think honestly, and again, I think Leon Flock is a very close second. I'll let you throw Diego Chara in that mix because he was still very good. João Paulo is an attacking mid, or kind of like goes forward more than a Chris Armas defensive mid should. Jack Price is the same way. Keaton Parks, maybe. Ali Bedoya, not a chance. And then Sean Davis in terms of who scored ratings. It's very tough because Red Bull were not a good team, but Sean Davis filled the role better than pretty much anybody. So
Yeah, there's one guy I was looking into, but I looked into his defensive stats, and he was just not good defensively. But I was looking into Ravelison on Galaxy.
Man, I was thinking the same thing. I saw him, and every time he played, I was like, oh, he's actually not awful. But he wasn't great either.
Yeah, he kind of just like had that really hot start where he was scoring a bunch of goals for some reason, but his defensive stats are not good.
Yeah. Super draft player of the year. This is actually really easy because most super draft players didn't
Don't play.
Yeah. Javane Brown from Vancouver, 25 assists, 25 appearances, 2 assists, and in the Jamaican national team picture after being drafted out of University of Southern Florida this year. There's really the only other people you can probably put in there are Daniel Pereira, who started like 18 games for Austin this year, and Calvin Harris, who made a bunch of sub appearances for FCC, both of which did not make the playoffs. So Javane Brown.
Yeah, that I think Pereira is the only one that even was remotely close in minutes.
Yeah.
And of course you're going to pick Javane Brown, who's playing for a playoff team.
And playing with Brian White.
Of course. And Ryan Goddell.
Ryan Goodell. Teenager of the year. Tell me, you can't have messed this one up.
I'd put Pepe.
Thank you. I
kind of wish I didn't.
I was waiting for something dumb like, oh, Ezekiel Barco 3 years ago is the teenager of the year this year because I said so.
Because they messed it up a couple of years ago, they have to give it to Barco this year. I'm giving it to Thiago Almada because he's going to win it when he comes here. Yes, I put Pepe.
Good. Yeah, the best U22 player in the league also happens to be a teenager, so that's an easy choice. Super sub of the year. I like this one.
Yeah, this one takes some research.
Yeah, I went with Anderson Julio from RSL. 20 sub appearances for a total of 300 minutes. He scored 5 goals, a lot of which RSL needed to get some points out. So big ups for Anderson Julio.
I also put Anderson Julio.
Nice.
And, I want to give big up shout out to Chris Wondolowski as an honorable mention.
I was so close.
Wando for the retirement.
Wando for the retirement, man. I was so I looked at it. I'm like, oh, we have to, don't we?
Were you looking at the there's like a super sub thing on Transfer Market? Yep. Is that what you're looking?
Well, I was doing that, and I also went on Who Scored and just sorted the detailed section to sub only.
That means you must have saw Frank O'Hara's name in there.
I didn't see Frank O'Hara in there, actually.
Oh, he was like 5th on the Transfer Market list. He's made like 17 sub appearances. He only scored like 3 goals, I think. I wasn't going to put him, obviously, but his name was there. So was our other favorite striker, Ramon Abila.
I did see Ramon Abila. that I did see. Yeah, I just sorted by goals because to me, super sub is who comes in and who scores. So I did.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I did total goals, sorted it. Hello, Anderson Julio. Like I said, Wanda was there too. Wanda was close, and now I see Frank O'Hara. Danny Musowski, 3 goals and 17 sub appearances for LA.
Too.
Anyways. And then Alex Mouil, 2 goals and.
He was on my honorable mention list.
Oh man, I miss Alex. Most improved player of the year. Who you got?
All right. So as we kind of mentioned before, since we did the other award as the injury comeback, I did this as on a form comeback.
Me too.
And from what I looked up, I couldn't find anything about an injury. So maybe if you remember differently, but I picked Shallowy for this one because he played less than 170 minutes last year, had 0 goals, 0 assists. And now this year, out of the blue, comes in and gets, was it like 16 goals, 8 assists? So 24 plus goal contributions over what he did last year. And certainly a ton more minutes. Like he went from someone that was not getting minutes at all to now being an MVP finalist. And like someone that had no hype either. It wasn't like it was a big name that just like had a down year. Like this guy had no news surrounding him really, and then just burst onto the scene this year and is an MVP finalist.
I'm just doing some Googling here. Nope, I don't see any injuries, so I will give you that one. I went with the easy one. I went Chicharito. Because of the hype he carried, I think that the improvement from what he was supposed to be and wasn't to what he is now, like so in my head, I see it like Shallowy was here and jumped to here because most people didn't expect him to be here, right? Chicharito was here when people expected him to be here, and now he's here. So to me, that's a bigger jump, right? It's like activation energies of certain, chemical compounds, right?
I feel like Chicharito, and I know he missed a lot of time this year because of an injury, but I feel like he met the expectation that people had when he originally joined the league. Like I think a lot of people had high expectations for him. He was almost like a Carlos Vela type of signing. So I kind of feel like he was here last year. Expectations were here, and now he just kind of went back to where it was before. Whereas I feel like similar to how you said before, Shallowy's expectations were like off the screen. And then this season he's gone like way
onto the screen.
Yeah, onto the screen.
I think they're a close one too. I won't disagree there. Yeah, I'm not like tied to this decision. I can be swayed out of that one.
Yeah, and a nice honorable mention for Brian White here.
Oh yes, absolutely.
And that's a serious honorable mention. It's not even for the memes,
right? How terrifying is that? But no, that dude went into being a bench warmer on Red Bull to literally scoring double-digit goals in like half a season.
Yeah, like carrying his team to the playoffs.
Yeah, unbelievable. I love Brian White. But yeah, I can be talked out of the Chicharito pick, but what I can't be talked out of is my personality of the year pick, because there's no debate on this one.
Oh boy, here we go. There's no way.
If you didn't put the snake for his post-game antics against every team he beats, you have picked incorrectly. David Ochoa is the personality of the year in the wrong way. Okay, it's in a wrong way, but it's enjoyable, right? Minnesota, he punts a ball into the supporters section, like second game of the year. Like there's no beef between any team. The man just turns around and yeets one into the stands, lights everything off, and then he beats Seattle in penalties. When they score, they take 0 shots. Basically goes in full park the bus mode from minute 1, runs at the field shushing people in the crowd, and then goes on a podcast and says, yeah, man, they had 3 shots on goal, but they were right at me, so they might as well have just been over the bar. Like, where is this dude coming from? I don't like the dude. He's a snake, but he's a personality of the year for me.
That's fair. I think I made my pick more so off of like outside of the field stuff. So I think I would change.
Personality, what a loser.
So I think I would pick Ochoa here just for like if we're keeping it just in an MLS context. But I had it as DK. I think DK is super entertaining and funny. Like I've seen his stuff online. So I literally picked it as like personality, but I think it makes more sense to pick the on the field actions. And in that case, very close honorable mention here. Henry Kessler, strictly for the fact that he punted the ball to the stand and then chucked it. That was absolutely amazing.
That is so. I love that. I love everything about that. Yeah. If we're talking about on the field antics, Henry Kessler gets a massive honorable mention. I agree. That's funny.
But yeah, I think Ochoa is definitely a good shot here.
Yeah, so I went with on the field. You went with off the field. Because I just don't follow enough players on social media to know if they're funny off
Yeah,
the
no,
field or
it's.
not.
I feel like we should keep it to on the field. I think that makes more
Yeah.
sense.
And the last one here before we go into our bold predictions. Most exciting player you've watched this year. Who you got?
I went with Lucas Alrion.
Okay.
I think he's so fun to watch because he can. I just feel like he could do so much. Like he can hit free kicks. He can dribble through the entire team. He can hit long shots. I think it didn't help that he was a bit quieter at the start of the season, but to finish off this season, he was red hot and he was so fun to watch. And I want to say I remember on decision day he hit like some banger goal or something for
Yeah.
Columbus, but I just know that he's really fun to watch. And a really close honorable mention for me is Jacob Glesnes because that dude only scores absolute bangers.
And just like that, I gotta go.
All right, who's your pick?
I went with Chofis Lopez. I watched San Jose way more than I probably should have this year, and that man is just so from a soccer player who appreciates like smart players, he's very much one of those. He knows where to play the ball at the right time. While the team around him might not have been great, his intelligence is something I really enjoyed watching. And then first 4 weeks, Cade Cowell is an honorable mention. Not after the first 4 weeks, but just the first 4 weeks.
Yeah, that's totally fair. First 4 weeks, and then the one goal he got with the goalkeeper assist.
Yes. But yeah, so that is our list for the Extra Time Awards. We'll go ahead and Connor will send me a screenshot. I'll take the screenshot. We'll tweet it Extra Time, see what they have to say. But those are our picks for all of those Extra Time Awards. Let us know what you think in the comments. But we have one more review to do. We have to review our bold predictions from this year. Or what other predictions do we have?
So we got a few things. I figured we could go through them and then either we cut it out if it's too long, or we could just cut it and make it like a separate part of an episode. But I figured we could at least record it now and have it. So we got bold predictions. We have our conference predictions, and then the top 5 for each position. Which that one I really want to go through. That
like the standings.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do. What are we at right now? So we started recording probably 45 minutes ago, give or take. Let's go ahead and go through our bold predictions.
Yeah.
We'll cut and then we'll record standings prediction or standing recap and top 5 player recap.
Okay.
All righty.
All right. Bold prediction.
Prediction number 1. We should do it like we did last year, where you say it and we have to guess who said it, because we have Adams in there too, right?
No, we don't have Adams. Adam didn't fill it out.
Boo.
All right, so it's just you and me. So I'll do it. I think we kind of remember what we put though. Like it's pretty obvious.
I only remember one of them. Actually, I remember 2 of them. I don't remember the third.
You'll, as soon as you hear your third one, you'll know.
I might not. I'll be honest with you.
No, you'll know. Okay. I'll start with an easy one. New England Challenge for Supporters Shield. You got half of it right, because then the last part of this you did not get right, because you said comes down to the last day.
Oh. Because we thought Columbus was going to be so good.
Yeah.
We thought
it wasn't even close to the last day. They wrapped up the Supporters Shield like mid-season.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's a really good shot at the start of the year for them to win Supporters Shield.
You just had one of those feelings, you know?
Fair enough. Next one. Barco to finally break out under Hines and get that desired move to Europe.
How'd that one work out for you?
Listen, he definitely had his best season so far.
Have his best out, but
it was not under Hines.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what was that? What was that? The first part?
And he has, as of right now, did not get that desired move to Europe. But let's see what happens in the offseason. All right, next one. Brenner hits 12 goals this season.
Was that me? It had to have been because I picked him to be like really freaking
Newcomer of the
good.
year, young player of the year.
Yeah, I picked him to be really good.
What did he finish with? Do you know? I thought it was like 8, maybe.
I thought it was 8. He got close.
Yeah.
Were they all spot kicks? They might have been all spot kicks.
I feel like Lucci would have taken those.
Yeah, but he was not on the field for half the time. I'm looking. He finished with 8
PKs.
detailed goals. Total search. 1 inside the 6-yard box, 7 inside the penalty area. Situations, 6 from open play, 2 penalties.
2 pens. All right.
Not too bad.
Yeah, pretty bad.
You can't say that.
I just did. All right. Next. Rossi, by the end of the season, becomes the most important player on LAFC, finally surpassing Vela.
Can we say that?
No, because he didn't even stay on the team.
Didn't finish, but did he become the most important player? When he left, LAFC fell apart.
If he had stayed, he definitely would have been the most important player. And
Correct.
I also don't.
But would they have gotten Arango?
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think they would have gotten that on him.
Right.
Which is why I think Rossi would have been the most important player.
I'll give you half a point for that.
Half a point. Yeah, I was going to say that. All right, the last 2 are pretty easy. I'll just say your last one. Red Bull at their 11th
I remember
season
this
streak,
one.
making the playoffs.
I was pretty close. I was
You
spot
were
on.
close. You were close, but they
They
decided
didn't go on
to
this
make
magical run of being the greatest team of all time for like 12 games.
just to lose in the first round of the playoffs.
Just to lose on. Yeah, I know. I'm aware.
All right, then my last one, Vancouver sneak into the playoffs.
Yep,
They did indeed.
that they did. All right, well, quick one there, going through some award recaps. Let us know what you think in the comments. We love to tell you why you're wrong. The only thing that we will hear is that the most improved player of the year is Brian White, and the super sub of the year can be Alex Muil. Any other opinions are wrong.
Chris Wondolowski.
Or I'll take Chris Wando too, but Alex Muil is also involved. Any other opinions are wrong, and you just might as well not even share them. But make sure you go ahead, follow us on all forms of social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. Are we still doing that? Yeah, kind of sometimes. I got to get that, man. I gotta be better, but one of these days I'll do it. One of these days I'll get back into it and do like proper everything. But yeah, and we'll see you next week for our recap of our standings predictions. And what's the last one? What else were we recapping that week?
Our predictions for our
top five players of the league of the coming into the league. Yeah, that'll be fun.
Fun.
Yeah, that's basically all of Minnesota. Remember that one. But yeah, make sure you go ahead and follow us there, and we'll follow us wherever you get podcasts too, so you know when we go live. But other than that, we will see you on the next episode of the Designated Players Podcast. See you.